Sorry guys, I'm trying to make this work and it's not working very well. That'll work. Hello everyone, and welcome to another installment of Erinn's Book Club. I have another book to read, and let me just say it was totally not what I expected. So the book that I have to read is Touching Spiritbearer by Mikaelsen. I probably said that wrong, but the beautiful cover. Let me read the back before I get into this, because this is going to be something special, I think. So Cole Matthews has been fighting, stealing, and raising hell for years. So his punishment for beating Peter Driscoll senseless is harsh. Given a choice between prison and the Native American circle justice, Cole chooses circle justice. He'll spend 1 year in complete isolation on a remote Alaskan island. In the first days of his banishment, Cole is mauled by a mysterious white bear and nearly dies. Now there's no one left to save Cole but Cole himself. I'm going to be the first to say that the backing of this book says, or does, really no justice to the book itself. I've never heard of this author, and when I first read the back I was a little bit edgy, because usually when the Native Americans are brought into books, they're either treated as savages or holier than thou, be like us kind of people. They're not really treated like real, quote-unquote, people. This book, the savages, listen to me, the Native Americans are treated like, quote-unquote, normal people who have an intricate connection to the nature around us and are wise and understanding beyond belief, but not because of them being Native American, but because of their experiences. This book quite truly, and honestly, can be a self-help book. It's all about anger and dealing with anger and the permission of allowing others to control yourself through your anger. There is one description of this main character who had to go into the island with his struggles, and he was given this big long stick. And the fellow that gave him the stick said, well, the top end is your happiness and joy, the bottom end is your anger. So let's just say the left end is your happiness and joy and the right end is your anger. Break off the right end. So he does. Well, there's still a right end of the stick. There's still anger. Break off the right end again. And he does. And same deal. So the exercise of that was, you don't actually get rid of your anger. You just learn how to deal with your anger. And only once you can accept your anger and accept yourself and forgive yourself for the errors you made, can you enjoy life. And the thing that got me about this book, and it still gets me about this book, is this main character has done an awful thing to the victim. Like, really bad. But in the end, in order for him to heal and maybe help his victim, he had to heal enough to forgive himself for what he did. And then to go out and say, you know what, I'm still a good person. I just allowed my anger to get a hold of me. And that doesn't make it an excuse. That doesn't make it better. That doesn't mean you're not going to pay for what you did. But it means you accept what you did and you're still worthy of being a good human being. Huge thing right there. The whole concept of acceptance of who you are. Like, who honestly accepts who they are? I don't. I still struggle with that. I still struggle with that hardcore. The concept of how the justice circle worked. Like the example that was given, let's say you killed my cat. You would be expected then to help me buy out or find another cat and help me care for this cat as a healing process for you. And it isn't just about punishment for what you did, it's about healing. The concept that if you just punish something for a wrong being done, the fear of that punishment happening again may stop that wrong from being done again, but it doesn't really fix the problem. If you can take that individual and show them what that wrong was and how that wrong hurt somebody and make them actually want to help in their hearts to right that wrong, that's going to help you a lot more than just punishing them. Like, that whole concept is just really amazing. I honestly think that this should actually be required reading in all of your schools. The empathy that is taught here without being like preachy is something that I think would be a valuable tool for any kind of student. It's quickly become my favorite book, and I might actually look into more that this author has written. The discussion points on the end, too, I really enjoyed. There was like a reader's guide with a whole bunch of questions that you can look into on this book. I think every book should actually have that. And then at the end, there was an interview on, like, with the author, explaining the situation with the author. And apparently the author had a rough go, and that's how he was able to channel Cole, the troubled teenager. And that's another thing. The main character of this book is so angry and hurtful and shut off from the world that you don't really empathize with him. You don't really want to see him do any better. And yet by the end of the book, when he's paired up with his victim and his victim starts getting him back, you actually feel anger for the fellow that actually really hurt the victim, which I think is an interesting tale, and it's an interesting weave of characters to have them start as something that you just don't feel is there any worth, to follow them along, and then even though he's done these hurtful things, you actually want good for him. I was very invested in this book. I read this book throughout the weekend, and usually I use my weekend to play my Sims game, but the book tore me from my Sims game and wants me to continue reading, kind of thing. I really enjoyed it. I thought that it was really well done. I'm going to read one question here that the author was questioned and the answer to it, because I think it's going to help. Do you think Cole would have had less of a chance to change for the better if he had gone to jail instead of participating in the Circle Justice? And the author says, if Cole had been sent to jail, he most likely would have been housed with kids who shared the negative attitude. I can't imagine any other influence besides isolation that could have made him search inside his soul the way he did on the island. Jail would have simply proved to punish Cole. Perhaps fear of the future punishment would have changed his future behavior, but I don't think it would have changed his heart the way that being on the island did. And that's exactly what I meant by wanting to change. Anyway, I'm running out of time, so I'm going to say thank you for listening to me talk about this book, and I will let you know when I have another book read. Go out there and buy this one, guys. Thanks so much.